All right. Yay. So I am Emily Otto Rebel, and I am here with my amazing client and friend, Jeanette, because I wanted her to tell you guys a little bit about her experience in coaching with me and about her business too. So, Jeanette, if you wouldn't mind telling us a bit about you, who you are, what you do, what you love.
Certainly. I'm Jeanette McAuliffe. My company is called Intuitive Indigo. I am a tarot reader, a medium, a Reiki master, a Kriya yoga teacher. I do woo-woo. I do a lot of woo-woo.
Yay,
There's a lot of facets to my woo-woo, so it's a long list of different things that I've spent a lot of time learning, kind of in order to address all the different individual parts of the people that I coach.
awesome. And what made you decide to say yes to reaching out to me, to working together? What was the deal breaker and the game changer that you were like, okay, I need 6 months of one-on-one mentorship. This is what I want.
So you and I had a little bit of working together before, so I knew that you have an awesome personality and that you're up to the same types of things in life that I am up to. Also, I have great admiration for some of the things you've done that I'm like, I want to do that. Like going to Burning Man, the sacred sexuality course that you said you were involved in, like the cacao ceremonies, like all these things that I was like, I didn't know those things existed and I want to do them and I don't know how. And like, maybe Emily will tell me.
Aw.
So that was kind of like what I got from our first meeting way back before you were even doing this program. And then when I saw you posting on Facebook, I was like, oh, look what she's doing. This is so cool. And I'd watch some of your snippets and some of your little videos and look at your posts and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. I'm glad there's more of that in the world. And then you said something to the effect of, do you ever just like look at your life and go, there has to be something more than this. There has to be something better. There has to be more. And I was like, I feel like that all the time. And my personality as Capricorn is very much, what's the next mountain? Let's climb it. How can I get closer to the peak, closer to my peak experience? And then how can I provide that for my clients? Because I already had my business when we met. I was in the corporate world for 25 years as a corporate admin, and that was definitely not where I wanted to be anymore. So I had found that journey into my entrepreneurship before, but then when you said that, I was like, yeah, and my business can look like more. My business is not where I want it to be. And I know how the universe works. The universe goes, hey, unless you have skin in the game, you're not going to get as far as you want as quick as you want. And skin in the game for me was hiring a business coach. And so that was the step that I took.
Awesome. That's so cool. It's really fun to hear your reflections of, yeah. And I had originally hired Jeanette back in the day to build my website back when you were doing that for my first business, Wildwood Healing Arts. Yeah, what I love about what I get to do now is helping people with their business and the strategy and the systems and the mindset, but I get to do the woo-woo still. And I get to encourage my clients to do it because, yeah, I've trained in sacred sexuality and intimacy and shamanism and yoga and energy healing and psychic and intuition training and astrology. And all of that stuff is wicked fun. So,
Yeah.
and then I love helping healers build their businesses so that you can help more people. Like, that's super fun to me. So yeah, so Jeanette and I have been working together for a year now and are going to keep working together. What do you think, what would you say is like the game changer of having kind of me in your back pocket for that amount of time?
The biggest thing that stands out to me, again, as Capricorn, I am stubborn as hell. I'm especially stubborn when I think I know the right way to proceed and really can't be told by anyone that I'm wrong. And so it was a big deal for me to hire a coach, and it had to be somebody that I trust, and I do. And it had to be someone who can talk to me on the level that I'm at, I remember going through some traumatic things in my life where I was like, I need a therapist for this. And every person that I talked to, that I was like, hey, this is where I'm at. I already know my stuff. I already know where I deceive myself. I have that mental capacity. I need you to hold me to account. I need you to call me on my shit. I need you to like show up actively, because I am really good at just talking my way out of it, making you think that I'm completely well. And nobody was up for it. Nobody. They said they were. And then at the end of the day, it was just ineffective. And so what I saw in you was a coach that was going to hold me to what I said I was going to do, but with grace and gentleness and love and tact. And also just like this really grounded, firm assertion, which honestly for my personality is what works best for me. I really don't like being told what to do. That's just not my thing. I'm usually the teller. So in order to get me motivated, it's a little bit of a navigation of course, like it totally is. But the way that you do it, you present an idea and go, hey, do you see benefit in this for you? Does this feel good? And it helped me realize that a big chunk of who I am is if it's not fun or it doesn't feel good to me, I'm really not inclined to do it. I'm just not. And you can see why that doesn't work in the corporate world, right?
And it's, what the hell is the point if we left our corporate jobs to create a business that also feels like drudgery, where we're burning out and it's not fun? Well,
and deadlines and pressure and have tos and all of that stuff, like the stuff I just don't want in my life.
Yeah.
So since I've been working with you, I've been able to have conversations that help me get myself out of my way. We've parsed out things like, what money conversations do you have that keep you from earning more? What do you believe about your own value that's keeping you from selling yourself and realizing your value to others? That's huge for me. Coming from a conversation of I've never been good enough and constantly battling that in every moment of my life, that is helping me realize I am good enough. I'm more than good enough. And I'm going to be exactly what the clients that come to me need. And so creating that trust between me and the universe to provide that, but also trusting myself to manifest that. So and that's especially recently, that's been huge. A lot of stuff in my life is coming to a space of questioning because everything is shifting. I think everything's shifting for most of the people in the world right now. And so seeing that in my clients, seeing that in myself, and trying to navigate both at the same time feels sometimes like, like a guy with one hand trying to do a job that requires two hands. Like I feel a little broken. I feel a little behind the 8 ball. I feel like I don't have all my tools. But what I've been learning is that the vulnerability piece of letting them know where I am and what I'm going through and how my growth looks is actually just as beneficial to them as anything I could tell them that I learned in a book or a class or, that kind of thing.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, trusting that like your authentic presence and experience is enough.
Yeah. And then they wouldn't be in my programs if they didn't want to be, if they didn't see value for themselves, and if they didn't see value in me as their coach. Me as their Reiki healer, me as their tarot reader.
I love it. What would you say to someone who's considering coaching with me? What advice would you give them, or what would you tell them if they're on the fence?
In my mind, and I'm a super direct human, so I'm gonna be a little direct. It's one of two things. You're in your own way because you're afraid to grow, because the unknown is scary. Just put your foot forward and do it. Because on the other side of scary is amazing, and you can't see it because you're so veiled by fear. Like, I remember someone once told me, it's like a little kid, the first time they jump off their front porch, it's a big deal. It's really high up there. It's really tall, and they could get hurt, but there's grass. And once they do it the first time, they go, oh my gosh, that felt amazing. That was wonderful. I'm going to do it over and over and over again, because they realize it wasn't that big a deal. And there's squishy grass to catch you when you fall. And most of our jumps through our fear are like that. They're just jumping off the porch. And and then the other thing is, if the money is in the way, the universe likes you to have skin in the game in order to let that energy know that you really mean business. And so having that skin in the game, putting the money out there, is letting them know, I'm ready for this. I want to manifest more. I want to, like, there's a sacrifice on my part, so it's going to make it more valuable. For instance, I remember going to college with people where their parents were like, here, I'm going to pay for all of college for you. And I had to get loans and scholarships and work 3 jobs while I was going to school. And so to me, just from that experience, I value my education so highly because I paid in blood, sweat, tears, and money for the whole thing. And so that was my skin in the game. Making my coaching payments is my skin in the game. And every month it comes up, because I have money conversations that like are constantly going on. And every single month I go, this is absolutely worth it, whatever I have to do. So getting yourself out of your way and getting some skin in the game is going to produce results that you can't even imagine. That would be what I'd say.
Thank you. I love that. Yeah, it's hard and it's scary and it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And every training I've ever done has been that way. You know, here's a weekend training. It's going to cost you $1,058. What do I have to sell to make this happen? Because I knew it would change my life forever.
And that's the entrepreneur mindset, right? What do I need to sell to make this happen? Instead of, oh, I've got to save up this amount. That's the 9-to-5 strategy. Like, this is all I'm making. I've got to save this to make it work. Instead of, all right, how many of X package do I have to sell to go to the thing that I want?
Which is really interesting, because for that particular training I was referencing, I literally sold my TV and other things in my house because I wasn't an entrepreneur at the time.
Wow.
So it was like, what do I literally physically have to sell to do this?
Oh my gosh,
and
amazing.
You just gave me a breakthrough just now, because in my own speaking, it was like, oh, I have to sell my program. Okay, got it. You know,
like,
that's really awesome.
That's part of running a business and making good money and helping people, right? Like, oh, we have to sell our services, right?
Well, and because I have this conversation of the universe is going to bring me the right people, I go, oh, but do I have to sell? Yeah, still do. Still have to let them know it exists, let them know it's out there, and show them, especially because social media is so intent on going by logarithms and filtering what people see. Absolutely. I have to shout it from the mountaintops, or else people don't know that it's there. And that piece has been a shift for me too, because I've seen, you know, do you remember the Psychic Friends Network?
Oh yeah.
Commercials. And I'm like, I don't want to put that persona out there in any form or fashion. I don't want to be the website with the shooting stars going across it and like the wands. I don't need that in my life, and no one else does either. I want it to be classy and businesslike and responsible and all these things. And so part of that was like, how do I incorporate that with the way that I sell? And you've been so instrumental in that, because you're like, take the words you say in a conversation, take the feedback your clients give you, and pop it into a post. And honestly, they're the most authentic posts I've ever posted. It's not me creating this image of what I do or what I say or what I sell. It's me showing people me, which is, authenticity has always been something I've always wanted to put out there. That's always been me.
It feels so relieving to get to be your full self instead of just pieces.
Totally. And to really let go of caring how other people receive it. And I think one of the gifts that I got from you was just the idea of having a private Facebook group, because I come from a long line of, you know, super Christians. And so I can't share a lot of the stuff on my personal page. Maybe one day I will, maybe one day it'll be okay for me. But in the meantime, I can say everything in my private group. I can swear, I can talk about aliens, I can talk about witches, I can talk about spell work, I can talk about all of the things that I know are true without any kind of kickback, because these are my people I've attracted.
Hell yes.
And it's safe for them too, because it's private, which is so important. So that was a game changer for me, for sure.
It's been fun to watch you thrive with your group. It's great.
Thank you. I love them so much.
Yeah, because your people need you. And then we just have to create the path and all the streams so that they can access you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
And I've made friends out of it. I've gotten clients out of it. People DM me just for like, oh my God, I need a card. What's going on in the world? Or like, what's up astrologically? Or like whatever. And
awesome.
even just a sentence can help. So I get to use my helper elf because that's also who I am.
Ditto that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Is there anything that I didn't ask or that you want to share with people out there? Anything else?
Yes. On the other side of fear is everything you want. Absolutely fucking everything that you want. Everything, to the point where it makes me cry. Going through the hard stuff, going through the fear, going through the struggle is absolutely worth it. And if you need support, get it. If you need coaching, get it. If you need to create a tribe of like-minded people, make it, create it, attract them, because you'll never be the same.
I love that. Too true. And you've been through it. Isn't
Multiple times, probably like daily sometimes.
it great? Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't trade a minute of it, not a single minute. Not the hell I went through in the corporate world, not any of the hell after that. I wouldn't trade it because I love being where I am. You're in my office in my house, you know. I love being here. I love being in my own vibe. I love people coming to my space and seeing me. And I love being able to walk my dogs in the middle of the day, you know. I love the freedom.
Freedom. Freedom. It's like the number one thing. Freedom and sovereignty, which is basically freedom. Yeah.
Yes. Did you say sovereignty?
I did.
It's ironic because that came up for me in a reading with a client this morning. And so I looked up the definition, and it was so much about embracing your own power and realizing that you are the coin, and on one side is light and on one side is dark, and you have to know your balance, but there's usefulness in both. And it was a message to her, but it was a message to me too. So I love that reflected in what you said. I was like,
funny.
That's synchronicity. Yeah.
Important. And
Totally.
It's what we get to access with these unique online healing arts-based businesses. Like it's what we get to do. And it's
absolutely
freaking phenomenal.
Totally.
Yay. Thank you so much, Jeanette. And if you're watching this, guys, check out Jeanette's business, Intuitive Indigo, and send me a message or book a free call to see if you can get in on the wait list for my 6-month mentorship.